You guys, welcome to my vlog. I'm crying because I'm fucking poor and I'm stressed. My name is Cynthia, a 25-year-old with no real career right now, wondering what's gonna happen next in life. I don't have any kids. I live alone in an apartment. I don't have a boyfriend or a husband. Actually, that's another story for another time.
Well, we're starting off strong here. It's hard out there for everybody. So just kind of keep the faith, continue to fight, and see where you land on the other side.
Made a video yesterday talking about how males these days are in an epidemic of being on their diva shit. So that video actually reached the divas. I have summoned the divas. They all gathered in my comment section. The problem was actually worse than I thought. I thought maybe I was just like noticing something a little off. No. Like the problem is actually alive and well and deeper than we thought. I'm getting comments of guys being like, I'm in my soft man era. What happened to equality and buying men flowers why can't you reciprocate if they're gonna buy you flowers? Wow. What would your grandfather think? What are your ancestors thinking when you tell the world, I am in my soft man era? I also got a lot of comments about the patriarchy. Don't you want the patriarchy gone? Blah, 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 all this stuff. Okay, let's just quickly talk about that. Men and women are equal. Nobody is disputing that. We are equal, but we are not the same. Let's not pretend we are the same. Let's not pretend the roles we play in society are the same. Men are physically stronger than us. We're optimized for that, not for being bodybuilding, strength, fighting animals, and hunting. We're not optimized for that. Just one example. We are different. We provide different things of equal value to society. So when men go and try to take the woman's role and do the things that women do, that leaves their roles empty. And you can try and tell me, oh, we're trying to get rid of gender roles. You can try and get rid of them all you want. The truth of the matter will always be that men and women are different. We provide different things. We have different strengths, and that's a good thing. We complement each other. When you try to do the roles of women and when women try to do the roles of men, we disrupt the natural polarity of things, and we end up with a bunch of mentally ill losers. It's okay to accept our differences. We are different. That is okay. That doesn't mean that we are not equal and that we don't have the same value. We just bring value in different forms, and you cannot compare them. So no, I'm not getting a man flowers. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to come up to a guy first. I'm not going to do that. There are people that will, but let's not pretend that that's the norm. There are women that can outbench a man. Doesn't mean that that's the norm. I ain't buying a man flowers. And y'all are going to stop acting like divas right the fuck now. Right the fuck now.
Dating apps are so funny. I matched with a man the other day, 3 days ago, mind you, and he swiped up on a photo of me in that orange Honor Active workout set where the boobies is all pushed up and there's a lot of cleavage. Okay, today he tells me he thinks I'm a very beautiful woman, but he prefers a more modest and covered up woman, so that would need to change for us to pursue anything serious. And I tells him, baby, go find what you're looking for. It's not me. And he's like, what do you mean by that? I am a woman who has a tattoo on my right ass cheek. And I didn't get it for a man or a man in mind. I got it because I like the way my ass looked, and I thought a tattoo would look cute on it. And I wear thong bikinis. As soon as the weather turns 80 degrees, I'm on a beach or a pool. I don't discriminate with this wagon dragging, because that's the type of life I live, because I'm the type of woman that does what she wants, when she wants, how she wants. Go find what you're looking for. Go find what you're looking for. Why are you trying to change me? And now you over here trying to cop please and trying to be like, well, I think we can still make it work. No, I don't want to make it work. Go find what you're looking for, because it's not me.
My male coworkers will start small talk by asking me if I watch any sports. So now I started asking them if they watch any fashion shows. Like, did you see this week's fashion show? Did you see the Schiaparelli Haute Couture?
Here's your gentle reminder that men are, in fact, the problem. My husband's away on a boys' trip, right? I had to get all 3 kids ready and out the door for school this morning. I had to drop all 3 of them off myself. I usually don't have to do that. We divide and conquer, but I'd say 9 times out of 10, we're late. And it's 9:09 right now. I'm lucky if the last one's dropped off by 9:15. She's in preschool. It's not that big of a deal. Here to remind myself and everyone else, when the men aren't around, the kids are in bed by 8:30 and the kids are dropped off by 9. I know he's going to say, well, if you want it done your way, just do it yourself. Well, I don't want to do it myself. I just want it done right. Is it so hard? I mean, really, can we do it together? Do I have to only do it right myself?
And you see here, it's the general antagonistic nature towards men with the last, maybe the last few clips here, and clips in general where you see men are turning away from marriage. You see that men are turning away from dating. And it's because of stupidity like this. Nobody asked you this. Nobody was talking to you. You just got in here, which a lot of modern women do, and insert yourself into the conversation. And this is where arguments are going to come from. You thinking that you do it right. I can guarantee you that if you, and whenever you go out or whatever you're doing, whenever that man gets his schedule down, which is what he's saying, hey, you do it your way if that's the way you want to do it. Oh, well, that's the right way to do it. No, it's your way to do it. You need to get that correctly. You need to get that down, because y'all be coming in here thinking that just because you do it one way means that it's the correct way. But then when you mess up, all of a sudden you want to get behind the man and say, well, if you would have shown me that, if you would have done this, and man, if you would have helped me. No, I tried to help you, but you wanted to do it your way. What you want me to do is follow along behind you and do what you want to do all the time. It don't work like that. Turn this camera off and drive home. Please. You want a cookie? You want a reward? Stop by somewhere and get you some breakfast and go home. Loser.
I keep seeing all these videos from girls in their 20s giving relationship advice, and one thing I can guarantee you as a divorce attorney is that you should not be taking relationship advice from girls in their 20s. These girls will be like, I was in nothing but unhealthy relationships and then I found the love of my life. Girl, you've been an adult for like 6 years. Ask chat what a repetition compulsion is.
And I'm about to get in men's business, okay? If you're wondering why men are in Home Depot every single weekend, it's because their tools come in piece parts. So I bought this little spin brush thing. I saw somebody using it to clean up the tubs. I was like, oh, I can use that. So I go to Home Depot. I get this Ryobi little tool. They got the spin brush, different attachments. Cool. Get home. I'm like, how does this work? I don't see where you plug it in. I don't see a battery. Turns out it does not come with the battery. So I had to go back to Home Depot and I asked a worker, I'm like, okay, excuse me, I need to get a battery. He said, no, that's not how you do it. You get another tool that comes with the battery that you need and a charger. And that way you end up coming out better. Made sense, cool. So I get a drill. Okay, and get home. I only bought the drill so I can get the battery so I can use my other tool. So fast forward to today or this weekend. My friend was like, do you have a drill? I said, girl, yeah. So I take her the drill, take her the charger, take her the battery. It's all there. She said, you have any bits? I said, She said, surely it came with bits. Who you think invented tools? Do you think this makes sense? So I had to go back to Home Depot to buy bits for the drill. Like, how was I going to use the drill without it? It's not my business, though, so I'm going to mind it.
I think if a woman doesn't want to date a broke man, she shouldn't. But also, I think that if men are dealing with stability issues, you need to prioritize. That should be a priority. That the priority should not be dating. This leads me right back into like how when women enforce boundaries and we feel a certain kind of way, men take this as harsh, most especially when it comes to money. I think the thing, nobody's asking y'all, you generally speaking, some women do want a man to get 6 figures or whatever. But most women don't. We are very realistic in that. We understand it. But if you could just have your basics together, I mean, at least come with something. And again, that's a woman's standard. Whatever she say, that's her standard. And if you know that you don't meet that standard, that's not the bitch for you. And that's okay. Go find another one that's more your... As women, we have so much that's at risk. Literally our whole life. So it's okay that women feel the way they feel. And if men feel a certain kind of way, just get your money up, not your funny up, my love.
But most of these women out here aren't stable, though, right? I mean, even if you're saying, well, I've got this, and you can go down a list of things that modern women, they say they have. But when you really get into their lifestyle, and what they be doing, you start dissecting it, then you see that they're in shambles, driving in a Beamer, in shambles, driving in a Mercedes, in shambles, rolling around in that Porsche, in absolute shambles. Nothing is together. Their life is chaotic. It's all over the place, and they're broken mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Okay, so words of wisdom, the less the guy gives a fuck, the more the girl gives a fuck, and that's why girls go crazy.
With the utmost disrespect, the next time I hear a man talking about how women use men for free dinners and money and all of that good stuff, I'm just going to show him the price of my face wash. That's what I wash my face with. We haven't even gotten to skincare, makeup, outfit, perfume, Uber.
And you know, with stuff like this, once again, when let's say he marries you and then you're expecting him to buy that sort of stuff for you, then what? When he starts spending his money on that type of stuff, then what? When you get purchased along with that makeup and you're, oh, I didn't even touch this, this, and this. What happens when a man walks through and he's able to purchase all of that? Then what? Then what? All of a sudden it's, hey, I bought that. Shut up talking. Well, you can't treat me. I bought that. Stop all that trash talk. Then all of a sudden it's the patriarchy. See, man, you can't trust them on any level. You can't do anything with them. They always, see, this is why I go for a man that knows how to be quiet, knows how to treat me, because these men with money, they don't allow that. They don't allow me to be in my, you would think they would, but they don't allow me to be in my feminine, my divine feminine, my soft girl era. That's because you put yourself in a masculine frame. You put yourself in the place of a masculine person. Once again, these modern women don't know when to shut up. They're so antagonistic. So antagonistic. Stop doing that. Leave folks alone. Nobody asked you for this. Nobody was asking you. You made this video to flex on somebody. Who you flexing on? It's just you and the girls being stupid.
So I just want to come on here and tell the ladies that there's just good men out there that just do stuff for women. They want to just do stuff. And this man I just met at a bar wanted to go to lunch, and I told him, y'all hear me? I'm not well. I'm not feeling well. This man said, well, do you want me to get you some stuff? I said, no, I'm good. He said, no, it's not a problem. I said, well, if you want to get me some stuff, I need some Claritin, I need some Emergency, I need some Pedialyte, and I really need the Kleenex with the Vicks. Bruh. This man came and brought me all, look at this pack of Kleenex. Like, he brought me all this stuff, and he was like, I really hope you feel better, and left me alone. Love it. Oh my gosh.
Michael and I are going out to dinner tonight. I'm going to show you everything that I'm going to order because I am a foodie. Also to show you that you can have balance in your life. So before we go, just a little glass of wine. They gave us a little wine sample to start, and then I got a margarita, my absolute fave drink ever. This is a baby kale Caesar salad, and then we both got the miso salmon. It was delish. I ordered a side of truffle fries because the portion was so small. And this is chocolate mousse and a New York whiskey sour yum.
Hypothetically speaking, my dad forgot to apologize to my mommy, so now we're going to the Gucci store.
3 ways I have recently recognized that the bar is in hell for men. I'll be using my husband as a real-life example. We were amongst friends prior to the election, and one man drunkenly began alluding that the women who have accused our sitting president of sexual assault were liars. And my husband responded by saying, dude, what are you talking about? What reason would these women have to lie? What do they have to gain? You gotta believe victims. Found myself feeling extra proud of his ability to speak up and stand up for women, especially to another man. I've never felt proud of a woman speaking this way. It's the bare minimum. It's what's expected. The bar is in hell for men. Number 2, him and I were in conversation with somebody who was telling us about marital strife between two people and it had become particularly violent, and the cops were called, and the man was saying really vile, awful things about his wife and spreading rumors. And my husband had a visceral reaction. He was like, how absolutely degrading, dehumanizing, disgusting of that man to do that to his wife. How could he possibly do that? Later, the woman we were talking to said to me, did you see how your husband had like such a visceral reaction to that story? Like, wow, he's like a really good guy. What? The police were called. She is not safe. What other reaction is acceptable in this situation? The bar is in hell for men. Number 3, my husband recently said to me that we should do marriage therapy, initiated the process, and prior to the appointment that he set up, we sat down and he said, I want to write down some points of like what we can really focus on during the session to get the most out of it. I was appreciative of this, and it aligned with exactly the way that I would want to address therapy. So I was telling some girlfriends of mine about this, and they couldn't stop raving about how wonderful it was that he was invested, and it was his idea, and wow, like that's just so incredible. We haven't even done the therapy yet, mind you, and we're already celebrating his willingness. And I don't mean to sound like an ingrate. I really don't. I married this man because he is compassionate, because he is empathetic. I just think that it's interesting how low our expectations continue to be. I'm a mom of 2 boys. We have to raise the bar.
Once again, these women are only looking to gain things from men with the way that they act. These types of women, your husband is a simp, by the way. I hate to say it like that. Now, it'd be one thing if you were saying, hey man, don't talk to my wife like that, right? You stand up for your wife. It'd be one thing if you're just doing something for your lady, right? Hey man, I'll take my lady out. Try to treat her right. Just do things for her. But when we get into foolishness and specifically talking about, like, say for instance, once again, if you voted for Donald Trump, that'll be your business. If you voted for Kamala Harris, that'll be your business, right? But when we start talking about stuff that makes absolutely no sense, like, well, you got to believe all victims. Really? Really? You do? Are you an idiot? Are you stupid? Well, I couldn't be more proud. No. That's what you guys need to talk about in therapy. Is how your husband he's exhibiting a person with no backbone. He's exhibiting a person with the inability to be his own person, an individual. I can see if you guys are moving in lockstep. Okay, well, I would approach it this way. Yeah, same way I would approach it. Newsflash. There's a lot of men that do this because that's just the way they think, for number one. For number two, they've been listening to their wife. They've been listening to their lady. But because he doesn't do it on your time schedule, then you get upset with him. Like he's not doing something right. When actually he is. It's just you have a problem that you need to fix. And like we've seen in some of these other things where the man gets her something, that's the only way that you can get on my good side. Listen, especially if I ain't messed up nothing, it's you and your problem. I'm not interested in getting on your good side. You need to discipline yourself the same way you expect me to discipline myself. If I do something wrong, you're going to expect me to say, hey, my bad. I'm sorry about that. Hey, let me make it up to you. My bad. That's what you're going to expect out of me. So if I in turn expect that out of you, be an adult and do the same thing. You're not talking about that. You're not talking about how y'all are going to do that. A couple of clips ago, the man bought the woman some stuff so she can get better. What was it? A Pedialyte and some tissue. Oh, thank you for bringing this to me. Okay, great. Fantastic. That should be it. and then leave me alone. Shut up. Stop talking. Stop talking. You see what I mean? Somebody goes out and does something for you, and instead of saying just thank you, just being generally appreciative of it, you have more to say that nobody needs to hear. Modern women, and I got to throw you. I'm sure he's a good guy overall, but modern women, and I got to throw your husband in here, is exhibiting behaviors. They're exhibiting behaviors, becoming of a loser. Believe all victims. Okay. All right. You do you.
You're not really a true feminist if you think the core argument of feminism is that men and women should be equal. Because, well, yes, but that's not the root of the issue here, right? Because if we say men and women are equal, okay, right, let's say there's equal crimes committed against women and men. Most of the perpetrators are male. We haven't really solved the issue then, have we? It's the patriarchy, the sexism under the patriarchy that we're trying to dismantle. And under it, a lot of racism and homophobia, etc. All of the issues under that. That's what we're trying to dismantle. That's why you can't say, well, as a woman, that's why you can't say, well, I want to be a stay-at-home wife and I want to live under this patriarchy and I want a traditional man, because you're not helping. That's not feminism. But you're free, but you're this, but you're not. You're not free, is the point. You're not. Once there is no more patriarchy, if you want to just be a housewife and you want to be home and you want to be this and you want to be that, sure. And that, idealistic situation, fine. But that's just not the case. Right? Like, is what I'm saying resonating with you? Do you understand? Feminism is not just men and women being equal. Feminism is, why are they not equal? Like, it hints at the issue, but it's kind of like, it's alluding to something like, oh, men and women should be equal. Yes, well, what's keeping them separate? It's this entire system. It's this entire system that can't be fixed just because you get paid the same. Just because there's the same amount of violence committed against both men and women. Thank you for your time.
I think what men, in the grand scheme of things, are trying to say is, it is what it is. Well, why don't we form a better system? It is what it is. Well, why don't we change this and this? It is what it is. It is what it is. You can try to do a lot of stuff and, God bless you for doing it. But sometimes it just comes back to, it is what it is. You can try to fix this, and you should, right? But sometimes in your attempt to quote unquote fix things, it's misguided, because you're attempting to control everything, and not everything can be controlled for. There's just certain things that happen in the environment. They just do. And you have to react to it, and you have to adapt to it. And the best thing that you can do, which is what men have been successful at doing in a lot of different places, not just America, they've been successful at setting up a defense, an alarm system, a mechanism that warns you, hey, even if you have to run, hey, danger is coming. Get your family over here. So even if you're not equipped to fight the enemy off, we can at least move and rebuild. That's adaptation. I don't have the firepower to go against this person. But what we did when we knew they were coming is we moved out of the way. We went somewhere else. By the time they did that, oh man, you guys okay? Yeah, man, we've been long gone. Unfortunately, we couldn't take all of the stuff that we wanted, but we have our lives and we have each other. It just is what it is. With a lot of this modern feminism and this new wave of feminism, what y'all are actually trying to do, without saying it, is control every single movement. And you're angry because the man doesn't comply with that. You're mad because the man he's not getting on board with that. And so you're trying to basically demonize him and get mad at him. And he's saying, well, this is what my world, I mean, if you're saying that you want equality, this is what my world looks like. Well, you should work to change that. What do you think I'm doing every day? Just because I don't, once again, just because I don't change it on your terms or do it how you want to do it, doesn't mean that I'm not fighting for change. I don't have to do it the way you do it or the way you want me to do it or say what you want me to say in order for me to be effective. And I'm not going to, because you don't own me. You don't pay my bills, neither do you run what's going on in my house.
And yet again, I have to ask, who is she doing this for? Who is the target customer? In case you missed it, Sydney Sweeney launched a lingerie brand called Siren, which is a genius name. The question is, what's the point? Is Sydney Sweeney hot in lingerie? Duh. But who is supposed to buy lingerie? Either women, but women are currently not her biggest fans because of all the weird shit she's been kind of doing lately. I personally, if I now wanted to buy new lingerie, I would go to like Victoria's Secret or something, unless I was a huge Sydney Sweeney fan. I don't know if there are many huge Sydney Sweeney fans, female ones, at the moment. Maybe the idea is for the men to buy this stuff for their girlfriends, wives, whatever. Because also she's launching right before Valentine's Day. But then if my boyfriend got me lingerie and I realize it's from the new Sydney Sweeney brand, I'd be like, why not just go to Victoria's Secret? What are you doing? All of this again leads me to believe that just like with the American Eagle ad, this is for the stock market. I don't know if they're already on the stock market. I don't know how fast these things work, but who predominantly buys stock? Men. So then if men invest in stock for Siren, she would make that money. Kind of, I think. And I know that on their website, a lot of the things are already sold out, but are they? Companies do that all the time to be like, oh, already sold out, or like almost gone, last chance to buy, to create some hype. Anyway, let me know what you think. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Sydney Sweeney, for finally representing my body type in the media. Love you.
Watching Sydney Sweeney drape her bras across the Hollywood sign in the dead of night, my first instinct was to be a hater. I'm not gonna lie. Because if her ultimate ambition is to be taken seriously as an actress, I just do not see how this would be driving her towards that. Because, like, what would Meryl do, Sydney? Not this. And then I realized this is a promo, not for a movie, but for her up-and-coming lingerie brand, Siren, right? When I first saw it, I was like, CERN? But like, duh, Siren makes a lot more sense. I believe this is a Bezos-backed venture that launches tomorrow, January 28th, 2026. And allegedly, the person who owns the sign gave her permission to record around it, but not like climb up it or drape her bras across the sign. And people seem pretty up in arms about that, but I don't care. I'm not the Hollywood sign hall monitor. My issue is just around her branding in general. This seems like a very strange point in her career to launch a lingerie brand. It feels very, well, I'm sexy, so I'm just gonna sell sexy stuff, i.e. Sydney's Bathwater, the soap. But I don't think she's invested enough time in the industry to establish herself as something more than that, especially since her acting chops are non-existent. She's bad. Like, maybe this brand will do well, maybe it won't. She needs to really understand who she is and who she wants to be before she spreads herself thin with all of these overtly sexy ventures. She needs a Flonase partnership, girl, is what she needs, or deviated septum surgery.
I have no choice but to fully support this business move from Sydney Sweeney because creating a lingerie brand is so on brand for her. It's just genius marketing. It's like Kendall Jenner's recent commercial she did for this sports betting app. I don't even know what it was for, but it was so good and just, I thought, aligns with you so well, Kendall. Well done. But it's like Sydney Sweeney, everyone knows body is tea. Everybody knows her body is tea. So what's she gonna do? Create a whole lingerie brand profiting on that? Yeah, amazing, so good. I like the name of it. I like the campaign she's done to introduce it. I think, yeah, go on, girl. Like, I know Sydney Sweeney gets a lot of hate, and I've done a video on Sydney Sweeney before where I was just saying that she doesn't care, like, what people think about her. She was born in the wrong generation. Out of breath. But thinking back on it now, to be honest, I think she is marching to the beat of her own drum and she just stays in her lane. And you know what? She's doing very well at it, to be fair.
Thank you. Just stop hating. Stop hating. Oh, well, the girls ain't with you. Some girls are. Just because you're not going to buy it don't mean nothing. Once again, modern women think they're the only ones that matter. Well, I'm not buying it. My friends ain't buying it. Who gonna buy it? Sydney Sweeney's market. That's who's gonna buy it. If they didn't have a market, well, why are you doing this? Why would you wear that? Why would you send something out like this? How come it's coming out? How come you don't think that this is something capitalizing on her good genes? You don't think that's, I mean, we have genes, and then, okay, well, let's make a play. Since they talk about marketing, the first lady talked about marketing. Well, let's make a play on that. Okay, good gene. Okay, let's show off some more of those good genes, right? By putting her in lingerie. Now, I'm not really a person to support somebody out here with they behind and they chest all out, but I understand the concept, right? You sell into a certain type of person. Well, I ain't gonna buy it. You don't have to. They're selling to a demographic in general that likes to feel empowered and good about themselves. So while y'all are hating, people will come around and say, okay, well, I want to, I didn't like this, but I actually like the look of this. And then they'll pull back, tailor, and put more of that out because that's what their demographic wants. Oh, one woman I think said, oh man, well, maybe they're doing it like Old Spice to where the man buys it for his woman. And if that's the case, then, that's not going to work either. Or you're just being a hater. I'll tell you, these modern women with no degrees in marketing, but in gender studies, sure know how to come across the aisle and tell somebody in another field what they need to be doing and how they need to be doing their job. Not knowing anything about it. You don't know anything about it. You're just talking. Be quiet. Stop being a hater. Be a congratulator. Just made that up. Congratulate me for that.
So I just came across this Asian creator on this app. I'm tagging her here. She was talking about how Black men have a tendency to over-sexualize Asian women. And I would like to wake that conversation up. I would. Because there's a video apparently going around of this Black man or two Black men that are actively harassing Asian women in a McDonald's, talking about their anatomy right in front of them. Now, the reason why I want to go ahead and have this conversation is because, one, I've been deep in Asian TikTok's business this past 2 weeks. Like, it's been crazy. So I might as well, contribute in a productive way instead of just being nosy in the corner. But also, two, Swifties are already dogpiling me, so I might as well add to it. The doxing ones, not the normal ones. But no, this is an important conversation when it comes to the concept of intersectionality, because Kimberly Crenshaw ate down when she coined that term, because there's something so incredibly important for us to unpack when it comes to intersectionality and Black men in particular. And the reason why I'm willing to have this conversation this way is because the Asian community has been having open conversations about the community collectively and their relationship to Black people, especially Black Americans. And I think that warrants having a more transparent conversation on the other side of things. Because this issue of Black men over-sexualizing Asian women, just women in general, and this doesn't, it's not only exclusive to Asian women either, but that's a whole nother conversation. But specifically in this video, this shit has pissed me off for years. And I think this is an important time to have this conversation. So my Black brothers, I would like you, if this shows up on your FYP, I beg you to sit here and listen, okay? Because we are making crossroads here. I think that's the phrase. I think I'm saying the right phrase. We are making inroads here, okay? You all have to unpack the misogyny and the xenophobia. You do. We have to unpack that. And you also have to unpack the fact that you are Black. Absolutely. Absolutely. But you are also a man. And that comes with a unique way to oppress people. But it also comes with the opportunity, or at least perceived opportunity, to try to align yourself with people that oppress others, aka white men, right? And a lot of times people that aren't the double minorities, aka Black women, try to do shit like that. You're pulling a white woman on Asian women when you're doing that shit. And I would love for you to stop. And the reason I'm saying this so proudly is because I'm not talking theoretically. I saw that shit under her video. I saw it on the video that she's actually talking about in the comment section. And it is disgusting. I hate it.
So if we need one of our own to call it out, I will happily do so. And I need you all to wake the fuck up and sit the fuck down and stop being weird as shit. Okay? We all got the same fucking body parts. And the thing is, I think the problem here is that a lot of black men, again, I'm not talking about all black men before y'all get funky, but a lot of black men don't actually mind being sexualized and objectified. I think that is something that needs to be talked about and discussed. There's some esteem issues that are baked into that. Because there's a conversation that could be had around how Asian people have had a tendency to over-sexualize, particularly black men. It is a problem. I do not agree with it. I do not like it, and it also pisses me off. But I cannot be more pissed off than you. And there are some black men that will be willing to be objectified because of the proximity to privilege that they think it abides them. Therefore, they're willing to do the same thing to others. I'm gonna need y'all to cut that shit out real quick. I'm saying this with a stern kind of love, because when I'm telling you these two communities, there's something interesting happening here on this doggone app. So these are two communities that normally have these conversations off app that are currently having it in an open forum. And there's some cross conversations happening here. I think this is time we have this one. Okay. This is the time. This is the time. You need to unpack whatever it is in you that is making you feel like you have to have some level of proximity to whiteness in order to have some level of value. That is something that you truly have to unpack. 'Cause it's not just going to be something that impacts how you interact with women. It impacts so much shit. And it's also incredibly dangerous. So if this is just a conversation that should be used as a vehicle for that conversation, have at it, because everybody benefits from you all stopping doing that. So love you. Please stop.
You know, as you listen to a lot of these ladies speak, you realize they really don't have much to do. And you know, I'm also speaking about the creator that she tagged. You might have some great points that you're making about racial relations and all that stuff in general. But you just sit back and you think about, you know, what they could be doing versus what they are doing. And you think about how a lot of these modern women, they really do find problems. They really do nitpick. For no reason. You know what I mean? Let me say, for maybe there is some cause to say, okay, well, maybe we should check this out, right? Maybe we should look at this. But the way in which a lot of these modern women go about it, once again, is so antagonistic. It's so, this is the end of the world. This is an existential crisis. And if it's not solved within the next 6 months, everything is going to die. Essentially trying to start some sort of civil war, I would say. And I say that carefully, right? I don't want that to happen. But what do you think would happen if certain people continue to say silly stuff like, well, this person is doing this, and you got to believe me, this, and this happened. And then you figure out, essentially what happens is, if we're following your lead and you're always emotional, and then we're going out there running and swinging on somebody, and they're like, bro, what are you doing? I don't even know this man. I've never seen this man in my life. Oh, well, to get him. That's him. And then afterwards, that man stick his hand down to help you up. Nah, bro, I don't know what you're doing, man, but get on out of here, man. You don't belong here. And then the man that just got beat down, he was like, seemed like he didn't hate me all that much. Hey, man, let me ask you a question. What were we fighting for? I don't know, man. You just came and attacked me. No, I thought you said something about Oh man, I don't even know you. I didn't say anything about you. Oh man, my girl said. That's where the problem is. That's where you need to leave her alone. At the very least, no, you need to leave her alone. Because if she's gonna continue to talk like that, and let me tell you something, do better, my brother. Do better. If you're gonna allow this woman to mess with your emotions like that, and nobody did anything, you didn't even check first, you didn't even come over here to have a conversation with me about it, that woman's going to lead you to the path of destruction every time. They can't handle their mouths. They can't handle their emotions. These modern women are undisciplined. That's the problem. That don't got nothing to do with their capacity to think, their capacity to be good people, their capacity to provide, to nurture, to do something great, to put goodness out there in the world. That don't got nothing to do with that. It has to do with how they decide to show up, how they decide to present in the world. That's what that has to do with. And these modern women are not good at it. They sit around miserable, thinking about all of the bad things that happen. All of them. And once again, I understand the points that you're making, but everything, every day, day after day is a problem. And like, do you ever have peace? And that's why these men used to go to war. These men used to go out there and be in chaos. And now they're so peaceful. I can't believe a man went and got his nails done. I can't believe a man went and got a matcha from Starbucks. Be a man and drink some coffee, black, straight, with nothing in it. That's how I like my men. That's how I remember my grandfather. That's how I remember my dad. But we're not in the same time period as your dad. We're not. We're not. I mean, my God, the stuff that y'all be doing, basically let me be lazy and you do nothing, and you do all of the work. My dad used to do all the work for my mom. Your mom, I don't know what you were looking at, but your mom was doing work as well. Are you okay? I'm not about to be a slave for you. I'm not about to be working for you all the time. Get out here and help me out. Man, with all the entertainment, with the movies coming out, with all the streaming services, with all this good food out here, Asian food, soul food, Mexican food, with all this food out here, man, there ain't no reason for you not to be happy. My God. Go on one of these vacations you're talking about. Hit up your friend. Y'all, all of y'all 10s, all of y'all 20 out of 10, all of y'all baddies. You can't find a yacht or something to get on instead of being miserable?
Talk to you black people. We tired of frying chicken to bury you. Now, you got all them purses and all that gold and all that hair and all them cars and all them rims and all them belt buckles, but then when it come time to go to the dentist, you need a prayer meeting? You have no business with a Louis Vuitton purse and a cavity. I don't care what you say. Get the cavity fixed and then go get a Michael Kors. Do something with your life. Now, if you want a pastor, let me know. If you want me to just come up here and make you happy, we got to get a structure for our life. Some stuff you don't need to pray about. You just need a structure.
Amen.
I don't have to pray to pay my bills. I got a structure. I pray for stuff like, Lord, let my mama have long life. I pray, Lord, make sure these cars don't hit me when I'm on the road. Lord, make sure lightning don't strike the house. Lord, make sure. I got my prayer set up for stuff that my structure can't handle.
Facts.
A lot of black women are lazy.
Wow. Black women lazy? I don't understand. What do you mean by that?
A lot of black women are lazy. A lot of, and I can't say a percentage number because, I'm no statistic or analytical person, but a lot of black women want to either be taken care of, want to remain on Section 8 in public assistance, or are comfortable being a CNA with the W-2 position, right? And not all, because there are black.
Hold on, but I just got to
okay,
say they're
not all. They're not all.
There's gonna be a lot of black CNAs that get offended with you saying, with you turning your nose up at CNA. I'm just letting you know.
Because I'm not wiping no shit for $18 an hour, and they're proud of that. Girl, I make $21 an hour, $800 a week. What the fuck you gonna do with $800 a week?
The CNA community is gonna come after you. Then.
Are they? Yeah. I apologize because we do need them. I just would never be one.
So I see we got another clown entering the circus.
The only thing I see lazy was whoever did your makeup. But I digress. Since you don't deal in facts, let me present some to you, ma'am. 63% of the work labor force, black women, okay? And a lot of that is due to systemic racism, ma'am. Because a lot of times if black women don't have college degrees or any type of higher education, we're not privy to getting a better job. So yes, a lot of us are CNAs, home health care providers, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, so on and so forth. Boo, but we are working, okay? Considering we are 13% of the population in America. 43% of black women are enrolled in college. More than any other group outside of white men. And we are lazy. And I'm surprised that you would attack CNAs the way that you did, considering you look like you about 6 years away from needing one, maybe 5. Because it's the audacity for me that you would get your ass on this internet and dogpile on a group of women that ain't did nothing to you. Because let's also consider this, ma'am, that even though 63% of the workforce, the labor workforce, are black women, still 22% of them black women live under poverty. And you got your ass on this internet and decided it was a good idea to mention them and to say what you said.
Well, what she's saying, because I think I just saw a woman that was making $2 million and she was in home health care and she was trying to get other women in home health care and she was trying to teach them how to structure their business so that they can make the same type of money as her. Right? So just because you're a CNA does not mean I feel like 800, I feel like 21 an hour is pretty good. No, I mean, maybe it's not the best when you add it all up, but but I do understand inflation is kicking everybody's behind right now. But once again, well, let me say this. A lot of women out there, a lot of ladies out there call men broke. And so essentially what she's doing is turning it back on you and saying, well, you're broke. And y'all don't like that. That's the thing. So when you listen to this and you say, well, it's gaslighting. Well, how do you think a man feels when he said, wait a minute, I'm not broke. I have a job. I take care of my responsibilities. Well, yeah, you do all of that and that's good. And I'm proud of you, black man, but you're still broke. What are you talking about right now? That's the type of nonsense and rhetoric that needs to be cut out.